Welcome everyone to another episode of the Two Industry. Now, for everyone, I have to say a late happy holidays because we were very late in coming out with our videos, but we have presents for you. We actually have our top 10 games of 2013 that we're going to share with you, and we're going to have it in three segments. We're going to have one from Mike, and he's going to start us off. We're going to have the best one of all out of all three of us is mine. And then lastly,
the worst one. The worst one over here.
And then lastly is Edric. So we're going to quickly get into it. Mike, do you want to start from 10 up, or do you just kind of want to throw it all out there?
Actually, I didn't put mine in any particular order.
What?
You're not organized.
Well, I mean...
So no number ones, no seconds?
I guess I have a number one.
Okay, well, let's start at the top of the list. What do you have?
Well, in the bottom of my list, I I have I know one that Adric's gonna be like, huh, really? It's Disney Infinity.
Ooh.
There you go.
You're so pumped and amped about Disney Infinity. Why is it at the bottom?
I mean, it's at least on the list. I mean, there's some games that just really sucked last year. I was looking through all the lists, and I all these games are games that I've played. There's other games that I think are top 10,
okay,
but they're not games that I've played, so I can't really say they're top 10 of 2013.
I got it.
So these are games that I've played that were top of 2013.
Yeah, and maybe we should make that disclaimer for each of us. So for Mike, it's going to be games that you have played. Is it that not necessarily that you've beaten, but something that you've enjoyed very much so, and you look forward to beat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, what's
you can't beat Infinity. It's forever.
Exactly. Yeah, and actually that's why I put it there, just because of the fun factor.
But you put it last, asshole.
There's other games that were a lot better. This one was good, but that's what I liked about it is, you know, that it was, the possibilities were endless. It was infinite.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I know. But I just like
Disney's just throwing you money.
I'm throwing money at them shit with all the little figures.
Yeah, and you have like most of the figures already. So and
I have quite a few.
We won't show that because it'll be embarrassing. No, okay.
But yeah, I put it on there just because it's a really fun game. I mean, they didn't just put a different skin on each one of the characters. I mean, they redesigned all of the characters. So if you play as Woody, if you play as Jack Skellington, if you play as Mr. Incredible, I mean, their traits and features and powers all change. So it's really neat.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And I mean, the toy box is also just a completely different part of the game. I mean, that's what I liked about it. I don't know if he has anything to say about it.
He's gonna wait until his list.
No, I mean, it's not on my list. But I'll say this. You know, it's very ambitious. You know, that being said, you know, I can see why people like it. It's just not my cup of tea. But I do like the figurines. So.
What's next on your list? Because we got others.
I have Far Cry 3. Blood Dragon. Even though it's a DLC, I mean, it was pretty much a separate game on its own. They just completely redid the game, and I just like how cheesy and 80s it was. You know, they did a really good job of making it seem like an 80s style, like game, movie, whatever. And yeah, I thought it was, for being a first-person shooter, I actually had a lot of fun with that.
This was your first-person shooter?
Well, Far Cry 3 was my first. Blood Dragon is the DLC.
Okay, so Far Cry 3 was like the one that
got
the virginity out, and then the second one was the one where you was like, all right, I'm going to get busy, which is the DLC version.
It was more fun, I would say that. It was, it's on my list as well. Michael Biehn, 80s crap.
Right.
Mixed together with bad graphics, and it was fun.
And they really freestyled it, and that's what makes it enjoyable. When the developers can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing, but I was going to wait for that on my list.
Yeah.
So, next.
Next is Dead Rising 3. Even though it has its flaws, actually some of these games have their flaws. The next one actually has a lot of flaws. Dead Rising 3 was actually a lot of fun. I just really liked mowing over zombies and just, you know, creating a lightsaber and just chopping the zombies up. It was actually a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, how did this kind of separate itself from Dead Rising 2 and 1?
I never played 1, but I did play Dead Rising 2, and
it wasn't monotonous whatsoever?
Yeah,
I mean, like, compared to, like, the previous iterations.
Both of them are... are pretty much a lot of fetch missions. Like, oh, you need to go get this in order to do this.
Right.
Now you need to go get that. But with this one, I think it just made it more fun because these were like hordes of zombies,
Right.
you know? So it just made it more fun and challenging trying to go from point A to point B and just, I would actually jump out of the car and just start chopping up zombies just because it was a lot of fun. The one bad thing I didn't like about it though was how it had an online co-op. Somebody could just jump into the game and
Kind of similar to like how Dark Souls was, like where you could just jump in and interfere with someone else.
But again, you could turn that off.
yeah, I actually didn't know you could turn that off. But next is Beyond Two Souls.
No, say the proper name of what the game is.
Puff the Magic
Puff
Dragon.
the Magic Dragon.
And
the dragon is there, but you can't see it because it's Puff.
exactly. And
Featuring
no,
Ellen Page.
I mean for being a PlayStation 3 game, I thought graphically it was a really awesome game. I mean, Quantic Dream, they're really good at storytelling, just like Heavy Rain. I mean, Heavy Rain was an amazing game, but Beyond Two Souls, I actually really liked the story. The graphics were cool. It did have its flaws
Okay.
because it wasn't like Heavy Rain where you were able to, like the decisions had more of an impact. But
Right.
this was still a really good story, and it really immersed me into the game.
Did you feel that it was like an epic movie quality, or is it something that was just to pass the time?
Both. Like I said, it had its flaws, but I mean the storytelling was really good. I mean, I think I could see them making this into a movie.
Okay. All right. What about the next one?
Is your favorite Tomb Raider?
I have no comments.
I mean, back then, I think it was still one of the best looking games on the PlayStation 3.
And they're making an HD remake.
Yeah, they are.
That's in the
And I
finals,
was
Even better looking.
it
Yeah.
is even better
yeah.
looking.
That looks good.
I was after seeing the comparison side by side shots, I was actually debating on getting it.
Oh, really?
More arrows out of people's heads in
Exactly.
high def.
Mediocrity in high definition. it's like watching an old person on your 4K television.
Actually,
So much wisdom there.
I was really surprised. It seemed like they just completely redid Lara Croft's face in the HD remake. But yeah, Tomb Raider, I thought it was a really fun game. I mean, I couldn't put that game down. It was
It
a
was
lot
so
of fun.
enjoyable that you felt really immersed into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one actually is on the PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
Resogun. It was one of the free games that you were able to get if you became a PlayStation Plus member. And Resogun, it's actually a really fun game. It's a little arcade style,
Okay. I've heard a lot of
Atari
people
type
actually liked
game.
it. Yeah, I've heard a lot
Yeah,
of
it
people
was
liked
kind of like a rehash of, I think it was Defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what it was based off of.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's just a basic premise. I mean, it's an old school game, but with new style graphics. Just a little, you're controlling a ship and rescuing humans and blasting aliens. So I mean, it's a really fun game.
Just make sure you don't have epilepsy because it will. It's lots of flashing lights.
Actually,
in
it
that
is a
game.
lot of flashy lights. But I mean, everybody that I showed the game to,
Mhm.
they got hooked on the game. They
Right.
couldn't put the controller down. It was
Right.
just an old style game with
Put
new
it down.
graphics.
Put the controller down.
It seems because I'm starting to see kind of a trend is that you like anything that's kind of immersed and kind of addicting, something to keep your attention.
Well, all of these were addicting for different reasons. Beyond
That's
Two
fair.
Souls was
That's fair.
because of the storytelling.
Right.
Tomb Raider was just because it had everything. I think it was a fun game. It had some puzzles. It had.
Actually, he's laughing at it because he can feel like the burning in my soul.
Because he just said he had everything in it. You're like, everything if it's shit. But we'll get to your review later. Your top 10 list.
Yeah, but I like them all for different reasons. They were immersive for different reasons. Storytelling, just the fun.
Okay.
Next is actually Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, really?
Um,
Have you finished it?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Ended up beating it on the DLC. Freedom Cry, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your mind, were you comparing it to like Assassin's Creed 3 or the previous iterations by any means, and that's how you kind of measured it?
I did compare it to 3, and I would say it's probably my second favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Wow.
I would probably put Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and then probably
Wow.
this one,
So you said Brotherhood, and then this one.
Assassin's Creed 4.
Okay. Just basically shit on like 2 and 3.
I mean, 2 was great because they changed it up from 1, but no.
No one talks about 1.
Yeah.
That's the oldest son. No one talks about.
Oh, so many things wrong with one.
All right.
The next one, actually, I just started playing it, but I know it's a game that I'm not gonna be able to put down because it's fun,
Mhm.
and it's Super Mario 3D World,
Right.
and I like it because, I mean, Nintendo did a really good job with this game. I was actually really surprised when I was playing it. I mean, it's just a variety of things. I mean, the colors, the Mario looks awesome. The characters are cool. The music actually brought back a lot of memories, and yeah, I mean, it's just a really fun game. I thought
kind of nostalgic, right?
yeah, it's very nostalgic, but then it also puts a twist and just a variety in the levels on the Mario world.
And keeps it challenging throughout the whole game.
The beginning seems pretty easy. I don't know how it's gonna get later on, but
That's typical Nintendo. They want to kind of get you in, get you trapped, and you get to that level where you're like, "Fuck this game!
Probably.
I'm gonna beat this level. I'm gonna spend all night trying to get that one shell just to hit the block."
that's true. Yeah, that is something Nintendo does.
And then I woke up and actually played the game.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought I was gonna hate it because when I first saw it, I'm like, cat costumes? That's stupid. Why the hell? Actually, it's kind of fun. It's a really fun game. So now it's actually the top 2.
Okay.
And actually, looking at this list, I actually would say they are in top 2 bottom.
Oh well, shit. There you go.
So number 2 on my list is actually Grand Theft Auto 5.
What?
Well, actually,
This
I'm
is
sorry.
outrageous.
Actually,
How is that going to a top
my bad.
10 list?
Actually,
Yeah.
no. The number 2 on my list is Last of Us. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I haven't beaten it but
Why haven't
the
you
story.
beaten it?
I think we already talked about
I
that.
know. I went through all
I hate the sneaking around.
But I hate the premise of the game.
No, that's my point. That's my point.
But it's one of the best. It's the premise of the game.
Well, the storytelling, the graphics, I mean, the mood of the game, that was all better than all of those other games on
That's
my
fair.
list. The mood was awesome. The storytelling, I mean, just the beginning alone.
Just the whole presentation of everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, that was an amazing game.
You could feel that was a quality product. It's just that
the actual gameplay you didn't like.
It's like if this gameplay was a third person perspective Assassin's Creed game, this would be a great
Well, I mean,
game.
it is a third person type of game, but it
Don't
was
you
just the
have to sneak
sneaking.
in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Well, I love the sneaking part. He goes in guns blazing.
Guns blazing. But
Like, no, that's to be fair because even I think Alan Cecily made a good point about that. It's like one of the best games are the ones that give you the choice.
exactly.
When you're put in the situation to have a choice between those different things. I mean, there is a choice there in Last of Us. You're going to die, but you do
Spoilers.
you do have that other option.
Yeah, but it's still top of my list, even though I haven't beaten it because of all the sneaking around. I'm going to get back to it. I actually loan it to a friend because I had other games to play.
Was the friend named Mr. Trash Can?
No, I have it back. No, but I mean, the beginning of it was just amazing. It did more gripping
Right.
gripping the audience in the storytelling than in the first 15, 20 minutes of the game than a 2-hour movie could do.
Because it did at home. It was here in Austin.
Right. Oh man, that blew me. You spoiled it.
That's a spoiler?
Yeah, that's a spoiler. It would have spoiled me. I was like,
I don't think
fuck,
a lot
that
of
shit was
people
in
would
Travis
know.
County? It's like that shit was awesome.
Okay, sorry guys. I gave away the place where it took the first 15 minutes. Sorry.
You gave away the setting.
I'm sorry.
You never give away the setting in the beginning of a story.
Planet Earth. I'm just saying.
and Grand Theft Auto.
And Grand Theft Auto 5 is my number 1 game.
Wow.
Man, just everything they did with that game. I was actually having fun with the multiplayer.
Mhm.
I was just surprised with everything you're able to do in the multiplayer. Now they just recently added Capture the Flag.
Right.
But then, the actual campaign itself, I mean, I love actually Naughty Dog. Not Naughty Dog, sorry, it's back.
Rockstar.
Rockstar. yeah, I love Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption. Actually, I really love Grand Theft Auto 4, and I mean they just took all those maps and they just blew it up tenfold.
Right.
And I mean it's just an amazing game. I know you said you actually weren't impressed with the graphics. I was actually impressed with the graphics because I had gone back to Grand Theft Auto 4 playing The Lost and the Damned, and then whenever I started Grand Theft Auto 5, I was like, holy shit,
Right.
this looks
It's a different.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my list, guys.
Well, nice. Okay, so you have a good list from Mike, and we had a lot of laughs.
No addendums, no extra bonuses that didn't make the list. No one.
Do you
Extra.
have any like a quick honorable mention before we sign you off?
I actually did, and I forgot what it was. I meant to write it down.
That's how terrible
Um,
it was.
no, actually, no. Well, Knack, I would say, is a
Knack,
really
okay.
fun game.
Because I was gonna say there's a couple I've known that you've played that's probably on Andrick and I's list that you left off that list. So it's gonna be interesting. I guess we'll have that discussion.
Yeah,
Maybe if we feel like it in the fourth segment. I can't promise anything. All right, so catch us in the next segment. I'm going to go over my list, which is the most popular list of all time.